All right. So, all right, we shall begin. All right, good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of our guests, all 90 of you. I think there's almost 100 of you now, and also to our speaker for today, Mr. Ivan Yee. All right, thank you for taking time out of your very, very busy schedule and spending the evening with us to share about this very hot topic that has increasingly become a little more familiar in our households, which is NFT. All right. So Ivan himself produces NFTs and even has a new project in the works now, which he'll talk about later. He has been in the local games industry for quite some time now and was also teaching games courses too previously. All right. In fact, quite a long stint in education line. Yeah, we had the first speaker on NFTs in November to explain to us in depth about what blockchain is and how NFTs were part of it, how it fits all in that. If you've missed that, it's okay. We have the session uploaded on our YouTube channel, CFAR's YouTube channel. But today, Ivan will lead us further down this rabbit hole and cover what NFTs are, and even explain as best as he can about the process of how an NFT artwork or whatever asset you're wanting to get minted on an NFT marketplace. Now, before we begin, just to remind everyone of some house rules, Ivan will actually be delivering his whole presentation first. Yeah, so he will be speaking first, and then after he completes his presentation, only then will we open the floor to a Q&A session at the end. Now, we would encourage you guys to also put down your questions in the chat. And what we will do is we actually have them, some of their organizing committee with me to assist with that. So we'll be noting down your questions in a sheet. And if the question remains unanswered by Ivan, then we will help you present them to him. Alternatively, if you can wait until the end and you feel, oh, it's a question that Ivan has yet to actually respond to or actually answer through his talk, then you can verbally ask your question by putting up your hand and then we will unmute you. So all of you have been muted for now, but we will unmute you if you wish to ask a question later by clicking on the raise hand icon. Yeah, so just a bit of ground rules so that you know when the Q&A, I think a lot of you might have questions coming along the way. So at least you guys know that there is a chance for you to actually present these questions to Ivan. Okay, so I will delay no longer as Ivan has much to share with us. I'm very sure, and I'm sure you have much to ask him too after that. So Ivan, the floor is yours. All right.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, but no worries about Q&A. I will try to keep within the time because I'm quite what they call chiong here. So, but I've had 3 cups of coffee already, so I can definitely stay up with you all to talk into the morning.
Oh dear, I'm sure a lot of them would want to.
Okay. Let me just share my screen. Right.
Yeah, it's like a little yum cha session. Okay.
All right. We shall begin then. All right. But first of all, thank you, Utah and the Center for giving me this platform, right, to talk about this. A little disclaimer before I go on. I am, although I'm involved in all this, I try not to see this as a evangelist kind of position, right? Normally when it comes to this kind of thing, I try to come in at it at a very neutral kind of viewpoint, right? So my name's Ivan. I am from multimedia. I think some of you are also from that background as well. Started out as flash animation, then I went to motion design, video editing, and most of my time was spent as a game developer as well and an educator. So I've been teaching at Lim Kok Wing, University of Wollongong, Point College, and not long ago I actually left to start my own business where we actually work on social media content stuff, and also I'm working on my own personal projects like a horror animation series and also my own little card game. All right. So the title is a little bit iffy, right? Because I think the first NFT talk was a bit about like what the rabbit hole. So I want to make it like we're going deeper into it, right? We're not the deepest yet. Maybe in the future another speaker can cover that part, right? So just to share a little bit about what I have done within this space, right? I'm by no means an expert in the blockchain technology. I'm not a programmer. I'm by training an artist, right? I have produced and sold some NFTs. I'm involved in blockchain games, right, where we sell NFTs. I do invest a little bit and trade in some cryptocurrencies. I also do help spend some time getting other people started in their NFT journey, right? I teach people how to set up their accounts and stuff like that. I am also currently working on some other projects for NGO for political transparency, right? Where we are selling NFT pixel art characters, but I'll go into that later if we have time. And I'm also working on like co-illustrating children's books on NFTs. Right? So there's a lot of different ways to approach it, and they're all not the same, right? But that's just my background. Today, we're going to be covering a few things, so I'd like to give an overview first. So first of all, I do need to touch back a little bit on cryptocurrency, what's blockchain and all that, right? Then I'll go into what are NFTs, then more importantly, how some people value NFTs. I think the big question is, whenever you see the newspaper or article come out that, hey, this guy has sold, made 4 million or 1 million or 2 million, then you look at the thing that they sold and bought, you'll be wondering like, why on earth did someone buy something like this, you know? And then we talk about who actually buys NFTs. So that part is more like the introductory to what all this would be. Then we would go into actually, I want to show you guys how to set up your own account. For those of you who are interested in setting up and selling your own NFTs, right? I'll show you using one of the more popular platforms available, which is Opensea, right? And of course, to be fair, I'll also be touching upon the controversy around NFTs. There's a lot of people that actually don't like blockchain technology, NFTs, cryptocurrency. We'll be covering some of that and also my perspective on it, right? And then we'll cover like, should you actually get involved in NFTs? Right? So that's just a rundown of what's to come. Oops. So first of all, let me recap a little bit about cryptocurrency and the blockchain. I'm not a technical person, so it's a very surface level as well. So the blockchain generally is a system, is a database, a system for recording information, which makes it difficult to change, hack, or cheat the system. Right? It's a chain of like nodes, right? That will you use it to verify every transaction that happens. It's a digital ledger of transaction that's duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computer systems on the blockchain. There are different blockchains available, right? For example, Bitcoin is one, Ethereum is another blockchain, then Litecoin, right, and so on and so forth. These are public blockchains. Cryptocurrency is just one of the functions of the blockchain, right? There are many people who use blockchain technology for different things. NFTs being one of them, right? Cryptocurrency is just one aspect of it, right? For example, on the Ethereum blockchain itself, right, there are so many different services or systems being developed just using this one single blockchain. And other blockchains will also have their different projects associated with it. So it's not just Opensea and such. There's a whole host of other new technologies also being developed around blockchain technology. All right. And so now we go focus on cryptocurrency to begin with, right? Currently, if I'm not mistaken, there's about 6,000 plus cryptocurrencies. But you only hear the main ones, which is about maybe only top 20 cryptocurrencies make up 90% of the overall market. Right? Some of these cryptocurrencies you might be familiar with, or you might have heard of before, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, right? Cardano, Shiba Inu, there's a cute little dog picture there. Ripple, Dogecoin, right? Sand, Luna. There's a lot. If you're ever into trading and investing, right? Then you download the different apps for it. You will be exposed to all this, right? But the common ones will be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few more, right? In fact, everyone always focuses on Bitcoin because it's one of the first. Right? So in the case of NFTs, for me to simplify it, right? You normally have to start with a wallet, right? A wallet is a digital wallet. There is also a physical wallet, which looks like a pen drive, but we won't go into that, right? So anyone can start their own online wallet. This wallet is fully under your control, right? This is where you hear stories of people losing their entire wealth because they forgot the access to it, right? Because it is decentralized, therefore only you have access to it. There's no company that can help you retrieve your password or retrieve your seed phrase or anything like that, right? So if you do create a wallet, a digital wallet, you have to make sure that you write down your password, you keep it, you back it up, you pass it to your loved ones or something like that, you know, your tattoo on your body or something, right? You have to make sure you keep a track of it. So you normally start with this, because this is where all this is where you can store your cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatnot, right? When you have a wallet, then you can access to other stuff. For example, other crypto stuff like decentralized finance, other games, and all the other stuff that I showed you previously, right? You have access to all that. But for us, we're going to be focused on NFT marketplaces, which are websites or services that actually sell NFTs or focus on selling NFTs, right? You can buy, sell, auction them off. For those people who are interested in trading or like investing in cryptocurrency, then they will go and use exchanges, right? Crypto exchange, they are for buying and selling coins or tokens. Some of the common ones which Malaysians especially might have experienced before would be Luno, Binance, Huobi, KuCoin, right? Based on the people that I know so far, these are the few that they use commonly, right? Other countries might have different exchanges which are more popular for them. But Malaysians, especially Luno, this will be the main exchange that we use, right? Because Luno is accepted by our Malaysian, if I'm not mistaken, Ministry of Finance. It's one of the approved exchanges that allows you to withdraw your cryptocurrency out into ringgit and send it into your bank account, right? The rest cannot, technically speaking, right? The rest you need to move it money up and down. There are different ways, but the easiest one to start off with is with Luno, right? And Luno is also the way that most of us put money, turn our ringgit into buying cryptocurrency, right? So Luno would be the most popular exchange in Malaysia, right? And then we'll start with a wallet to access all our NFTs, right? But more into that later. Now, gas fees refer to the unit that measures the amount of computational effort required to execute specific operations on the Ethereum network. So basically anything you do, right, on the network, when you want to buy an NFT, trade an NFT, transfer your crypto left, right, center, you will be charged a certain fee. And this fee is basically the computation is charged based on how much computational effort is required. All right. I'll skip this part. You can tell that this part is very, very copy paste from somewhere, right? Not my own words. But okay, let's get into NFTs now, which is what I think most of you are here for, right? What are NFTs? I think by now most of us who have been familiar with the term non-fungible tokens, right? And in the beginning, it took me some time to wrap my mind around what on earth is a fungible token, right? It sounds like fungus, basically. So it was a bit confusing for me until I broke down to, okay, what's fungible first, right? So fungible means it's replaceable by another identical item, mutually interchangeable. Like for example, I have two coins, right? I have one 20 cent, another 20 cent. They are the same. Basically, I can swap them. They're identical, right? Or to any object around us, any physical object. But the non-fungible token would be something that's unique, non-interchangeable, the unit of data stored on the blockchain, a form of digital ledger, right? So this one item, right, is unique because it is a certain line of code. There's only one, and there will only be this one line of data stored on the blockchain, right? What can be an NFT? Anything can be an NFT. Anything digital, right? So, for example, you can upload, you can sell images like JPEGs, PNGs, or animated GIFs. You can even put up animated GIFs as well, right? You can put up vector image formats, SVGs. You can put up video formats like MP4s or WebM, right? Audio formats, MP3s, WAV files, OGG files, or even 3D file formats. So most of to sum it up, actually most digital formats, whether it's visual or audio, right, can be uploaded onto as an NFT. Currently, the only thing I can imagine not being uploaded is an interactive experience, right? So a lot of these images, audio files, and video files, these are very multimedia centered, like formats, right? Which is why anyone from a graphic design, multimedia background is actually very suitable to explore this field, I would say. Now, the NFT, there's a lot of like controversy. There's a lot of like confusion about what it is. So normally people will sell they'll sell this NFT, right? The NFT is artwork. Actually, the code is the NFT. The code is a smart contract that points you to this image. This image is stored online. Right? This image is actually stored on a server on a marketplace. Right? The image itself is not actually stored on the blockchain, right? Because data on the blockchain is very expensive to actually or we're going to mint it, right? So instead, you're actually buying, when you buy and sell NFTs, you're actually buying this line of code, which points you to the object itself. So some people will say, yeah, oh, I can just right click this image and then save it out, and I've stolen your NFT, ha ha ha, right? In a sense, you have stolen the image, yes, but the actual hash is what people are actually buying and selling, right? And the image has to be stored somewhere, right? So then we've covered like what are NFTs, right? Images or whatnot, right? But we'll look at how some people value NFTs. Now, this is not the only way people value NFTs. NFT is something very new, right? But after thinking about it, I like to start to look at like who actually buys NFTs. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry will be buying NFTs, right? Your uncle might not even know what an NFT is, right? The auntie that sells char kway teow in the coffee shop is probably not buying NFTs, or we don't know, right? Generally speaking, my observation wise, people that buy NFTs are people who have made money in crypto, right? Or they call the millionaires. Maybe they have made money already, or they are naturally very rich people, right? And rich people, they think very differently in terms of where they see value in items, right? You can see people buying really expensive luxury goods like an LV bag or a Rolex watch, right? As compared to some of us who might only be able to afford, I don't know, maybe a Swatch watch, if for anyone who still buys watches, right? So I've noticed that these people who have made money in crypto see money in a very different light. Some of them might even have became millionaires overnight. Last time when Bitcoin first came out, they bought some, and then the value exploded, right? So usually these are people who are like firm believers in blockchain technology, and they are reinvesting in it as well. Right? Other people are actually like flippers or investors. I've had friends who actually buy and sell NFTs. So they are hoping to make money off the buying and selling of NFTs, right? This is the bulk of the people who buy and sell NFTs, right? Then we have people who are supporters, or people who actually collect to support their favorite influencers, idols, or creators, right? Or people who love memes. NFT is a very meme-driven economy, right? Someone that puts up something that's funny or unique or brand new, right? There are people who actually are, hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind owning one of that, right? Although it's just a JPEG or a picture or image, right? People wouldn't mind buying because there's a supposed scarcity there. For example, in this collection, there's 100 of this only, and there will only be 100. So some people wouldn't mind actually buying into that, right? Or some people like to support their favorite creators or idols or artists, like in Malaysia, we have artists like Red Hong Yi or Michael Chua, right, who are pretty well known as illustrator and artists. So people actually buy it for that reason. Yeah. Oops, there's a red color line. Like, okay. Or maybe they're crypto bros. the term is for people who really believe in NFT technology and the future tech potential of this area, right? So these are people who are delving into NFTs. If you're talking about people who love art, maybe there are some of them around, but I wouldn't say they're a huge market, right? So there's a misconception there that, oh, why this, some of the artwork very ugly, why the people buying this artwork is so ugly looking, this NFT looks so ugly, but people are still paying so much money for it. We see value quite differently, right? So with this in mind, then we look at what are the factors that make an NFT seem valuable to someone, right? So that there are cultural aspects to it, right? Sorry, this part is a bit lecture-like, right? My background is as a lecturer, so cannot help it now. Right? So culturally, some NFTs have certain significance in the cultural and technological evolution of the technology. For example, the first of this thing, or this is the first time someone has done this, and it's so unique that you want to own a part of this launch, right? There's also legitimacy, like some people, you want to support a certain person or a project, you really believe in it. So some people will actually buy into certain NFTs. And they might buy and they might sell it, or they might buy and hold it. So it depends on them, right? A huge chunk of the future will be here in utility. That means NFTs that are have additional functions. So it's not just an image, but there are additional uses to it, like gaming, or metaverses, right? Or tickets. I can show you a bit later on this, right? Some people like to collect stuff. If anyone here is a player who plays like Pokemon, right? Or Magic the Gathering, or any other thing that can be collected, or Lego even, right? I think you will understand that, I want to get a specific Charizard, which is like super duper rare, I really want this shiny foil card, right? Sets are appealing to collect, regardless of what it is, right? I mean, you can see a Pokemon card is a piece of cardboard, right? But to a collector, it's not just a piece of cardboard, right? They might get offended as well, right? Because to them, it's something that they value. Right? Also, with aesthetics, so some people actually collect NFTs because they like the look of it. Some NFTs are pretty cool looking, right? I'll show you in a bit. We also have things which are memeable. Some people buy things which that they will go viral, right? And then you can use this in terms of things like for marketing purposes, or to create a gimmick, to maybe do something else outside the digital world, right? And the last one is also scarcity. Some people just like to, if you're familiar with the word FOMO, right? Feeling of missing out. Some people, if they see something that's like a limited supply, they feel like buying it already. One example would be, let me think, like McDonald's, whenever they release a new toy of some sort, right? I can guarantee you most of the time it's not the children lining up to go buy it. It's all the adults who are lining up, right? And sometimes fighting to get it. For instance, like the BTS cup, that was the most recent one, if I'm not mistaken, right? People actually line up just to get a cup, a purple colored cup, isn't it? Yeah. Right. So then we move on. I'll show examples of all this. Right. So cultural stuff would be this is the first on-chain generative art on the Ethereum platform. That means these are images, right, generated with an algorithm. It's called autoglyphs. This slides later on, right, I will make it available to Eugene, and then if anyone wants to share it or read more into it, right, my links are always there, right? So these autoglyphs are generated with code. Therefore, this is the first time this has been done, which means that to some, they see it as valuable. To me, I actually enjoy looking at this kind of visuals, right? I find a certain like beauty in the kind of chaos that's happening here. Would I buy this? Maybe not, right? I'm not exactly filthy rich. This is also this is the first breakthrough of long form generative art. Fidenza. This is quite nice. So this is not painted by a human. Right? There is a computer calculation algorithm, right, which generates this artwork. And it's actually quite nice. I would imagine myself, if this was printed on a canvas, painted on a canvas, and is hung in a gallery, right, it will not seem out of place. There's a certain order to the chaos here, right? So this is the first like the first of the kind that has like achieved this status. So people will want to own something that has a significance in the milestone of the evolution of technology. This one is very famous, CryptoPunks, right? This is the first successful avatar project. So for those of you who are not familiar with CryptoPunks, right, you're actually buying little pixel art heads, right? And these heads are generative. That means people they drew different variety of like head, eyes, ears, mouth, facial hair, and all that, right? And then the computer actually generates them to create about 10,000, if I'm not mistaken, different avatars, and people buy them. And these can sell in the millions. These avatars, these CryptoPunks, one of the first successful avatar projects. Right? That's why nowadays, if you look at the marketplace, you find that there are a lot of these kind of projects out there. Right? Everyone wants to follow in the footsteps, basically. Right? But the value would, of course, be mainly helped by the first person who started this. Now let's look at this CryptoPunk, right? Just to give you an example of like how much it costs, right? Currently, this costs about 1,500 Ethereum. This picture in particular, right, is owned by this wallet code. We won't know who it is. It's anonymous, right? The latest price as of a few days ago is 44 million USD, 4.9 million USD, which translates to about 20 million ringgit lah. So imagine, would you buy this for 20 million ringgit? You probably won't, right? But someone who is a billionaire would think differently from us. You get what I'm saying? Right? So value is very different from, depends on where you're standing at the moment, right? So someone decided this image has this value attached to it, right? Or is our very own Malaysian now super rich rapper, right? This is how do I put it? He I can't see his word, but he launched his own NFT collection. It's basically one song, and he launched, I think, I can't remember, was it 100 of this version of this song, and each one has a different number, but it is the same song itself, right? And he sold them off and made about 4 million ringgit in total, or about million USD. This one in particular, this number 73, costs about 2,000 USD, which is about 10k ringgit. Right? Now, who would buy this? Maybe people who support him. And just before he launched this NFT collection, what he did, he released that song Fragile that annoyed a certain government somewhere in the world, right? And he created so much media hype around it. And he be so when he had all the media hype, he launched his NFT collection and boom, right? So he made his money. Whether you want to go through this kind of risk to do this kind of thing is up to you, right? I personally wouldn't, but it is also something that works, right? This one is any Jay Chou fans here? I think I'm not sure whether the younger generation is into Jay Chou now, but he launched a whole series of Fanta Bear, right? This one in particular is this crazy number. So now this price, let me share you, it's not necessarily, this is the price they put up now, right? This might not be the price that someone bought it for, right? I'll bring you to take a look at it. Maybe, you know what, we'll try to take a look at it now, since we're here, right? And we're going to go into Opensea anyway. So let me just bring you here to take a look at this Fanta Bear. Right. So this is the ridiculous price. That is what, 61 billion. Is it billion? Yeah, this is million. Yeah. So obviously no one is going to buy this much, right? But if you scroll down, right, you see that it actually sold for 9 Ethereum. Is that someone set it up to that new price, which they don't expect anyone to buy it, right? They put a price which is so super duper ridiculous, right? Yeah. So it's so all transactions on the blockchain is recorded on. So you can see who bought and who sold it, and who bought and who sold it, right? The only thing you can't see is who owns all these wallet accounts, right? We'll come visit back Opensea in a bit later, right? For now, let me continue this first. So although this is the price it's set up now, right? This is not necessarily the price that someone bought it for, lah. So Jay Chow didn't make 65 billion on this one image alone, right? Unless someone buys it, then different story. Beeple is one of the most famous artists, I think, in this NFT space. He sold one NFT called this is the NFT image. You see the background, right? This is called Every Day, the first 5,000 days. Now, Beeple is an artist even before this NFT days, right? He used to produce one artwork a day. So his thing was to put up, if I'm not mistaken, on Instagram, he'll produce one artwork every day consistently for don't know how many years, right? So the first 5,000 days, he combined them all into one image, and he sold it for 69 million USD. That's this whole artwork, right? Which makes him currently, if I'm not mistaken, one of the top selling of a single artwork for NFTs. This is 288 million ringgit. Can you imagine that, right? Now, let me move on to like what I say, utility and function. I'm not sure whether some of you are playing games like Axie Infinity or so on and so forth. This means that the NFTs you buy, you can use them for other things as well. For example, in Axie Infinity, you're buying this little jelly monster. They're called Axies, right? And then in return of buying these Axies, you can, if you have enough of them, you can go and play the game, and you can play to earn. There's a new term in the game development called P2E. It's not new, but it's now popular, right? Play to earn means when you play the game, you can earn back some of your crypto. In Axie's case, it's called Smooth Love Potion, or SLP. Then when you earn the SLP and you can sell your SLP back to the market, right? That's when you can get paid. You can take out money, real world money, right? Unfortunately, I think like someone mentioned, SLP had dropped so much, right, that it become unsustainable. Right? But so whether play to earn gaming is here forever is a different story. But people are seeing it as a replacement for free to play games, right? Just that there are in my view, there are certain things that they need to solve in play to earn economics, which currently does not make sense yet to me, right? But the function is there, the utility is there. That means people buy NFTs in return for the chance to play games or do something with it, right? What else? Like this is a Malaysian example. I like to show Malaysian examples. This is a museum. I can't remember where's museum, right? Miniature Malaysia, right? And he's selling NFTs of his ticket to enter his center, unlimited entry, right? He's selling for very cheap, He's selling for like what, 38 ringgit, sort of around there, right? But so if you want to buy a ticket to his center where he makes beautiful miniature like recreations of like Malaysian landmarks. I think I would love to go there one day, right? And I was considering buying this ticket as well, so that you can see that, oh, I have a ticket that allows me to go there unlimited times for the rest of my life, as long as I have the NFT, right? As long as I don't sell it off, right? So this is another function that people can give to an NFT, besides just saying that, oh, it's a JPEG, right? Or it's just a picture or just a file. You can have other like real world implications tied to your NFTs as well. Yeah, or some people also buy it for the art, right? This one, some of you might be very familiar with this, right? So very beautiful, like mystical creatures, which some people would just love to own with because of the art itself. So there are that kind of market around, right? You can buy just to collect because you like the looks of it, which there are these kind of people, and depends on what can you do with artwork, depends on the artist itself, right? Some people would give you the full rights to it. Some people would give you, some people will only allow you to keep the artwork itself, but there are different ways of approaching this. This one I'll touch later on in what do you call the copyright side of it and art theft in the later section, right? Now this is another one of the more popular collections. Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? 6044. Yeah, the OG, I think someone mentioned here, right? So this one is a collection of monkey pictures. So every time people like to laugh at NFT, they bought monkey pictures, right? Which is true, you actually did buy a monkey picture. Right? This one in particular is worth about 83 Ethereum. And the latest price for this one is 275,000 USD, or 1.15 million ringgit. Right? Now, why would this have value? Because celebrities bought it, right? There's a limited number of these monkeys around. There's, I think, about 10,000, right? There are celebrities, really like Hollywood celebrities and famous people that actually bought these monkeys, right? Therefore, anyone, like, the idea behind it is, if you buy it, you are owning something that maybe another celebrity in Hollywood owns, right? And there's only 10,000 of these. So having it would have some sense of value to it. Okay. Now this is a funny one that they put it up. This is the end project. The end project is basically a black image with a series of numbers here. Right? This one itself is about 436 USD or 1.8 thousand ringgit. Right? Would you buy this? I do not know. This has been around for some time, but it's also sold out. So yeah, NFTs is indeed quite a crazy world. Right? The end project. Now let's go back to Malaysia itself. Right? So in Malaysia, we can see like anyone who's in this field of NFTs and crypto would know her already. This is Red Hong Yi. Red Hong Yi is a very talented artist. She's from a fine art background, right? And she produced her NFT. If I'm not mistaken, I've been reading her story and stuff like that. So her partner was into this crypto, it's an IT person, right? So it encouraged her to get into it, and she got into it. What they produced was this giant copper plate, right? This is a meme bank. So you can use this copper plate to stamp additional like versions of the artwork itself, right? So the NFT she sold it for 325,000 ringgit. But as you can see now, because the price of Ethereum has dropped, right? So when she sold it at the time, the price was about 36.3 Ethereum. But yeah, so maybe the value now has dropped because of the overall price of Ethereum, right? So now she sold her NFT. The NFT is just a contract to state that you own this, right? And then she will actually send the physical artwork to the buyer itself. They will ship it. How they do it, I have no idea, right? But so you're actually buying a physical item, but the NFT is merely how to put it, proof of ownership to this item itself. So that's another way to go about it. Right? And in her terms, if she allows you to go print more of this artwork if you want to, right? She gives that kind of permission within the stipulation of her contract, right? And she has released a bunch more, and if I'm not mistaken, she's selling a bit more now to raise money for the Banjir people affected by the Banjir, right? So this would be one excellent way for fine artists or people who create physical items, right, to actually go about the NFT world. Now, of course, these are very memeable, right? An Italian artist auctioned off an invisible sculpture for 18,000 USD. This is the sculpture here, quite beautiful, nothing there, right? So it's a work that asks you to activate the power of the imagination. And this was sold, so it's not that he made it and put it up there and no one bought it. He made it, put it up there, and someone bought it for 18,000, right? Now, this one would be what? Something that definitely is memeable, right? If any one of you were from a marketing background, right, you will actually find that, hey, this is actually a very interesting way to go viral, right? Like of course, yes, you're spending money on nothing like 18,000, but every single news portal in the world picked up on it, you know? So I would say that then you compare the cost of actually doing an advertisement or a marketing campaign, which can cost like millions or so, right? But they did this instead for this much. It's actually, you can see that there are ways to actually like work off it, right? It just has to be unique and gimmicky enough. You can actually play around with what you can do with NFTs, right? This one is very popular now. So I think everyone would have seen this lately, right? Gozali every day. I find this hilarious and I love his concept, good on him, right? So he took photos of himself for so many years. How many years? 5 years, 933 selfies, right? It's actually quite difficult to do also because he's pretty consistent about it, right? Whether it's every day non-stop, we don't know, right? But he sold it and he also made about 4 million ringgit, 4.5 million ringgit. Whether he made all of it, I can't tell, right? But the volume traded and the amount is relatively high for someone who just put up pictures of his own selfie, right? So any one of you owns one of his selfies, it'll be quite interesting. Right? Now, as you can see in this is the Opensea account, right? There are 933 images. There are 481 owners. If these are all sold, right, that means some of these own more than one. So it really is really dependent, right? Yeah, Gozali, good on him, right? Okay, you can imagine this thing really changed his life. Suddenly, boom, 4 million ringgit. I think that would change anyone's life here, right? But these are very, very memeable because they're very gimmicky and some of them will see very funny and very like quirky, right? This is another one. So an influencer sold her love as an NFT for 250,000 USD and is going to have dinner with a mystery buyer, right? Now, this is about 1 million ringgit, right? But she sold her love, right? Now, don't think wrong thing. I don't think that she's selling herself. She's selling the love of an online persona. That means her online identity or whatever character she plays, someone has bought that character's heart, per se, right? And she just went dinner with the buyer, right? And whether anything else happened, then I do not know, I do not want to know, right? But it was a gimmick at that point of time, right? Okay, so then we've covered who buys NFTs and why people maybe buy NFTs. Hopefully that one sheds some light on why are people buying this JPEG and all this picture for what reasons, right? So hopefully start to make a little bit of sense, maybe, right? Doesn't mean that you go and buy NFT straight away, but hopefully you start to unravel why people do it, right? Now, when it comes to minting your own NFTs, this will be the few steps you need to do, right? It's relatively straightforward. First of all, you need to pick a marketplace. Then you need to create a digital wallet, right? It's basically to store your crypto assets. This wallet is how you open an account in the marketplace. Right? So these few steps only. Right? So connecting your wallet with the marketplace. So using your wallet to connect to, yeah. So, and we'll be using Opensea as an example. There are many more, right? Now, these are the marketplaces you can take a look at, right? They all have different like maybe segments of the market, or some people like different ones differently, or some are using different kind of blockchains, right? So it's up to you to see which one suits you. Opensea is one of the older ones and the most established one, and that's why a lot of people are on Opensea. Some of them have lower gas fees, or some of them have different target markets, like some of them are very upscale, very atas, some of them are more specific for fine art kind of stuff. Right. Let me see whether I can open Solana. Since we're here, I just show you this. All right, everyone can see, right? So we're at Opensea. Right. So if we look at Opensea, Opensea is one of the older ones. There are a range of things. Like some stuff don't look that beautiful, some stuff look quite nice, some stuff look quite confusing, right? You can explore here. These are all the different collections available, right? There's another one called Foundation. So Foundation tends to have a little bit more, when I say artistic, right? Then again, sometimes you find nonsense here. So it really depends, right? Got Takra pictures here. So you have Rarible. So Rarible, I find a lot more crazy stuff. NBA Top Shots. This one they sell basketball moments also. You have a Super Rare. Super Rare looks a bit more like a fine art kind of gallery rather than collections of photo faces and avatars. Right? So maybe some of you are maybe more atas can go and check out Super Rare, right? You have a Nifty. You have Mintable. You have oops, sorry, wrong one. You also have this Pentas. Pentas is Malaysian, by the way. So this is the only Malaysian marketplace. But Pentas uses Binance Coin. So a little bit more, a few more steps to get into it, right? I'll be showing you all Opensea because it is one of the easier ones to start off with. Right? Okay. Let me go back to my previous slides. Right. So Opensea variable foundation is not Squid Game. This is a Nifty, Mintable, Super Red. There's actually a lot more. It's up to you to go check it out. Right. And Malaysia, Pentas.io. Pentas.io was initially more focused around things of Malaysian content, but now also I see got all the random stuff there, you know, got cucumber characters and stuff like bear characters, avatars, all that. So everything's there now, right? Now, okay, so if anyone that wants to get into NFTs, right, you just need to get a MetaMask wallet first. There are many wallets, but this is the easiest one to get into it, right? So you can go to the website metamask.io and you can just sign up for it. And then you need to download the browser extension. Okay, so the browser extension so that you can easily access it from your browser, right? But make sure you be very careful. Make sure all these details are correct because some people create fake applications or fake extensions or fake stuff to kind of like trick you into connecting to their stuff. Then maybe they steal they steal access or something like that. So you must be very careful about this stuff, right? Okay, now when you want to create your own MetaMask account, right? Once you have downloaded those two, right, they'll ask you to set up a wallet, right? This is if you already have a wallet, you already have the code, password, and all that, right? You can recover your wallet. Otherwise, you need to get it set up, right? So you click on the create a wallet, then you will come here and then you create a password for it, right? This password is to the MetaMask itself, right? Blah, 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 blah. None of you will ever read these terms of use, but you just take it anyway. So press create, right? Now, this is a secret backup phrase. This passphrase, right, don't share with anyone, right? It's 12 different words, and it allows you to recover your account. So when you move to, say, you download the mobile phone app, you will need this passphrase to connect to it, right? So this is a very, I would say, personal thing, right? For myself, I screenshot the thing, I keep it inside my computer one, I write in the notebook one, right? Even if you put it in computer, you run the risk of someone hacking it, right? But then again, I don't have 1 million ringgit or anything close to that, so it doesn't matter to me yet, But for people who have a lot of money in crypto, then it becomes a very stressful thing, right? That's why they have things like hard wallets and stuff, but we won't go into that. But so this 12 phrase, right? Don't memorize this phrase, I think most of us have bad memory, right? Write it down right now. So this is an example, this is not mine, by the way. So don't try to hack me. But they give you words like clarify, found in the sequence, right? So they will ask you to key it back in the same sequence. So don't randomly write in any sequence you like. Remember to keep it in the correct sequence itself. Yeah. Right. So when you're done with that, then you can actually go to Opensea and you can connect your wallet to it. Right. In fact, there's no button to create account or sign in or anything. You have to use the wallet to connect to Opensea. Right. So it's attached to it. So if you have the MetaMask extension and you register everything like correctly, fine, no problem. There'll be a little button there which you can click, and you can click. There's few wallets available, right? If you see MetaMask, to click on it, it will open up and connect to Opensea. This is what it look like, right? Now you see that this thing will turn green when it's connected to website. You get the extension, you open it on an empty page, right? Then it will be just not connected. If it's connected to a website that can connect, it will be green, right? This is your account address. This is a hash code here, right? Which I blur out, right, for safety reasons. Then you have this is an Ethereum wallet. So you have Ethereum, how much Ethereum you have left. This is the conversion to USD. You can buy crypto here, but normally people don't buy it from the wallet because it's very expensive, right? Or you can transfer your crypto out, right? Or you can swap crypto. And these are the assets in your wallet. This is what kind of crypto, what kind of tokens you have inside your wallet, right? Now be careful. Only connect your wallet to trusted sites, right? There are a lot of people, if you step in this world, right? There are a lot of people who, like if you use Discord a lot, people will send you links and then they tell you, oh, if you connect to this website, you will have free crypto, free airdrops, free this and free that, right? And a lot of them just want you to connect to their system, and their system might not be secure, right? Or they are malicious. So be very careful about which sites you connect your wallet to, right? This is a warning. All right. And then when you create your NFT, you pay on Opensea at least, you pay for your first mint to initialize your account. This can range from, like, when I started some time ago, it was 8 USD. And like last month, I think last month it was 200 USD to mint the item. That means you put it up there and you put it onto the blockchain to actually start selling, right? The first one, you have to do it. You have to bear the cost of it to initialize your whole account, right? So normally what people do, if the price of the gas fee is high, they wait for certain times when it's lower, or like now is a good time actually. So they open their account, they mint it, and then after that, consecutively, you don't have, when you upload an image to sell, you don't have to mint it anymore, right? The buyer is the one that pays for the minting fee, right? So it affects whether or not a person wants to buy the thing also, because like just to share a personal story, I wanted to support one local artist. I saw his character very cute. I wanted to buy it. It was 50 USD, right? But the minting fee was, for me to buy it, I had to pay the minting fee, which was at that point in time another 50 USD. So I was thinking to myself, 100 USD, maybe later, yeah. So that's currently, this is one of the things that might make people a bit more apprehensive about buying NFTs, right? But for selling NFTs, you just need to mint the first artwork you put up there. You have to mint it, that's all, right? And after that, it's all not charged. Really. The charge is borne by the buyer, right? So if you follow all that, I see a lot of questions, right? Okay, if you follow it, congratulations, you have connected your account. You are now on Opensea, right? Right, good job, everybody. Right. So sorry, did I disappear for a while? I think I disappeared for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let me just back up a bit. Oh wait, I haven't shared the screen yet. All right.
Okay, we can see you again. Sorry, I think everyone's connection is not that great tonight. Even I've been falling out twice.
Oh, is
okay.
it?
Yeah, I fell out twice.
No.
Okay, we are all good. Yeah.
Okay, let me go back 1-2 steps. All right. I'm not sure where I dropped off. But I think it's around here. Okay, so once we've created the account and connected to Opensea, right? Now this is how you create or you upload your first artwork. So you go to my collections. So how it works is you need to create a collection, and then when you create an item, it will be parked inside that collection. You can have multiple collections. You can have different collections. You can have collections that are like how to put it. my favorite pixel art, you know, or this, I drawn 100 donkeys here, right? And then you can put it up there as different collections. So you go, my collections. So this, when you want to create a collection, this is what you probably need lah. Or not probably, this is what you will need. A logo image, right? A featured image, a banner image. They give you the recommended sizes, but you can experiment and play around with it lah, right? You can name your collection, name it, the URL. This is what your URL will be. So you define the back part of here. Then you put a description. Now, all these, right, images and description, all these help to give your account or your collection a bit more like validation, right? If someone goes to a collection and it looks like someone chin chai, go and throw stuff up there, my favorite picture, right? I think the value of it would definitely be a bit more, people will hesitate to buy it lah, right? Then you have categories and all this not necessary. The links here is necessary, right? When people want to buy NFTs, right, they actually want to see who the artist is or who the creator isn't, or they want to see what this project is all about. Maybe not the artist, maybe the project. So having a website is important. Some people have their own Discord channel or Instagram link or or Twitter account, right? Discord and Twitter is most important for, at least for most NFT buyers and sellers, right? So once you've created a collection, you can go and make sure this is the important part, set your royalty, right? Now, one of the cool things about this, the systems in this marketplace is you can actually collect a royalty. So when you sell off your artwork, right, or your NFT, and then when someone sells it again, you can actually collect a bit of royalty from it. You can set this to anywhere from 5 to 10%, up to you, right? So if you sell it for, let's say, 1,000 USD, right, to someone, you have earned 1,000 USD, great, right? But if you sell it again, if the person sells it to another person for 2,000 USD, right, you can get like maybe if 10%, you get 200 USD as a royalty fee, right, on all the items inside the collection. Right? What kind of blockchain? Ethereum, yep. So Opensea runs on the Ethereum blockchain, right? This is a wrap Ethereum is something else altogether, right? And then you can decide what kind of display theme you want, whether you have explicit content or not. And if I'm not mistaken, that's all. Then you created your collection. So this collection, this royalty thing applies to all the items inside this collection, right? So make sure you remember to set this in the beginning, right? Yeah. I personally did not set this because I didn't know about it when I first started out. So quite bodoh, right? But we live and learn. So now, when you've created a collection, then you can start to create your own item, right? If you have 1,000 item, then you have to upload 1,000 times, right? Unless you want to write a script to do it, but otherwise you just put up your artwork, right? So you can see the file type supported here. There's all these different files, right? The name of the file, link to another page. This one is how people will go find out more about this object itself, right? And the description of your project itself, the artwork, and which collection will it appear. There's all these extra like properties you can set up, right? Which I personally did not set up myself, right? But you can explore it. And currently there's only one. So when you buy this, there's only one. The number of copies that can be minted. Some NFTs, right? You can have like 100 of this version of this item itself, right? Personally, to me, it's a bit how do I put it? It is strange that when you want to sell NFTs, then you have 100 of NFTs, right? Why are we buying it? So, but in Opensea, there's only one so far, right? Quantities above one coming soon. It's been there for very long, anyway. All right. So when you create an item in your collection, and that's it, so you actually can start. You need to mint your first NFT. I can't demonstrate that because my account is already done that already, right? But later on, when you mint it, you have to pay for the first minting fee, right? That part is the one that not saying there's a lot of YouTube tutorials that can show you the step by step, right? Yeah. So in the simplest process for us, like in Malaysians, right? The question is, how can we put it up the artwork, and we sell it, how can we take out the money out, right? That was the crucial information that everyone wants to know, right? So when you have your MetaMask wallet, right, you can use your MetaMask wallet. This keeps your Ethereum. You can use your MetaMask wallet to open an account in the marketplace here, Opensea, where you buy and sell your NFTs. Then when you sold, and just say you sell an NFT, right? You have let's say 5 Ethereum, right? The Ethereum will be inside your wallet. You will see it there when listed there, 5 Ethereum, right? Now, how do you take the Ethereum out of your wallet? Okay, this is the part. So the most streamlined way, the most clearest way would be to transfer the Ethereum from your MetaMask wallet, transfer it to your Luno account, right? Because only Luno allows at least Malaysians to actually transfer to a bank account, right? So this is one method. Other methods would include peer-to-peer transfers. That means you go and trade with people online and use exchanges and stuff like that, which in the beginning I don't recommend, because it's quite scary and stuff. Like you're very worried that you click the wrong thing, your money goes somewhere else, right? But this will be the clearest way forward. Luno, of course, being the only one, they do charge you fees as well. For example, they charge you 2% on your transaction. So when let's say you got 100 ringgit inside Luno, you want to transfer to your bank account, they will take 2% of that, right? You transfer the whole thing. So be aware, there are these kind of gas fees in every transaction out there, right? Yeah. If you want to go take your money, take your crypto and then go and reinvest and go buy funny coins, right? Then you need to go into other exchanges, right? Luno is an exchange as well, but Luno is very conservative. Luno only has 5 different coins, right? You have Luno has like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Ethereum, and Litecoin, right? There are 6,000 coins in it. So some people find Luno not very exciting, right? Because you can't buy the funny coins, which actually sometimes what they call, you can moon, your value jumps up like 10 times, 50 times, 100 times, right? So people like to buy other coins for that. But for you, those of you who want to get into it, the simplest way would be this method, right? So make an account. You need to put some money in so you can authorize, you can start your account in Opensea. And when you do sell your NFTs, the way to take it out is through Luno, right?
Ivan, just a reminder, we are now passing the 9 p.m. mark.
Oh,
okay. I think you can go on for a bit more. You've got a few more slides, right? Just to give you some sense of time, Manila.
I told you I mentioned.
Yeah. Which is in a way good. At least we get the info. Okay, thanks.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah.
Can bear with me, guys. All right. So I'll speak faster a bit. Right. Now, also, okay, we're up to the controversy part, so we're almost at the ending part, right? So hopefully we covered how to start your NFT journey, right? There are a lot of YouTube videos to refer to. The controversy of why people hate blockchain or NFTs and why there's a lot of debate around it. These are some of the more common ones that people will raise up, right? Like the environmental impact of it, where NFTs consume a lot of electricity. You have people complaining that art is stolen, right, and sold as NFTs. That's a very common thing as well, right? Or some people complain that NFT art is ugly or derivative, it commoditizes art, it's soulless, right? That's another thing. I teach a game development course, so a lot of my students are gamers, so they're very upset about the fact that no one has any GPUs or their RTX 3090 all cannot buy anymore because crypto miners have bought them to crypt mine coins, right? And of course, some people say there's no function, it's a trend and it will die off eventually, right? But we will just touch base on each one, not very deep, right? Just surface level. But yes, so cryptocurrency does have environmental impact because the more popular coins like Bitcoin, the biggest market share coin, right? People use miners to actually mine it, right? So the mining process consumes electricity to solve a calculation. So sorry, to solve the mathematical puzzle, right? In order for them to verify the blockchain. So these machines, some people take it to extreme. So when people mine, they solve the mathematical calculation, the computer does it, sorry, they will be rewarded with some crypto, right? Small bit, like a little bit of Bitcoin. So the more you do it, the more Bitcoin you get, right? So when people can earn money this way, what they do is they buy huge amounts of miners and then they put it up, they build it, right? In China, you have this whole warehouse where everything is just mining and mining and mining, you know. And in some other countries where like people try to set up this kind of system lah, and in order to mine. So yes, it does consume electricity, right? Based on some studies, it consumes as much electricity as a small country as well. So it's bad for the environment in that sense, lah. You know? Okay. But then again, back to that topic, the technology is still in infancy, lah. So we're actually moving away from the proof of works validation into proof of stake, which hopefully will solve that problem, but it's still some time off. But in the meantime, yes, cryptocurrency and blockchain technology do require this kind of like electricity usage for the time being. Okay. Now, stolen art, right? Copyright issues, right? Now, in NFT, when you sell it, when you buy an NFT, you actually don't buy the copyright, right? The creator actually still retains the copyright. This is the default lah, basically speaking, right? But then again, how this works is totally dependent on the creator. I can make an NFT and I can put it up there and I say, I give you 100% whatever, I give you the copyright as well, right? So you can do whatever you want with this artwork. You can print on a tattoo on your bag or whatever you want to do it with it, right? You put it in a cup, it's up to you, right? So there are also ways to do that. Like Red Hong Yi does is like, nah, here, the artwork is yours. She gives you the artwork, the physical artwork itself, right? So, but generally speaking, if nothing is stated, the copyright still belongs to the creator, right? Like for some different projects will determine their own different criteria. Like one example, CryptoCrities allow the owner to commercialize NFT, provided it does not result in earnings of more than 1,000 USD a year, right? But it's really dependent, and it's sometimes very difficult to calculate who will earn how much, where, and what. All right, so there's a gray area here, right? But art has also been stolen since time immemorial, right? Nowadays, if you have artwork, right, you even have people who develop scripts where if you type things like I want this on a shirt, right, the bot will actually download the image, upload it as a t-shirt and put it up. This was one of the it's like a joke, right? Then someone set up this thing where they posted this phrase here, and they asked people to post it, I want this on a shirt, so that the bots automatically detect it and they see, hey, there's a lot of demand for this. The bot doesn't know what image this was, right? They just know that there's a lot of people that say, I want this on a shirt. So the bot actually, from the web, whatever unethical websites they have, they actually took the artwork or this image and put it up automated onto a shirt. And then they started selling this shirt. Yeah. So if people manage to game the bot, basically, to prove a point, right? But artwork has always been stolen. If you put artwork online, there's a high chance that it's somewhere on, right? And the NFT buyers, like I said, the easiest way to fight with that is you have your own presence on the NFT space, or it's either that or your stuff watermark it, you know, or you can even like how to put it. Now the thing is, NFT buyers don't simply buy NFTs. They want to see who the artist is, what's the website all about, what's this project about, you know. So if the person just take your artwork and put it on NFT as an NFT on Opensea, doesn't necessarily mean that they can sell it on, right? I have one project where 200 of my images were stolen and uploaded as NFT as well on Opensea, right? So what we did is we just flag it to Opensea, we inform them, and we show proof that we own the art stuff, and then they take it down, yeah. So it's just a process, right? But no one bought it because there is no there's nothing to tie the artwork to whoever created it, right? So most of the time when people do steal artwork, most of the time it doesn't sell, right? And even like website DeviantArt, right? You actually have systems where they will scan the website, the internet, right? And if they find your artwork has been replicated there, they will inform you, right? Like even for NFTs, because this is a problem. It's definitely a problem, right? But how do you solve it? You have to go through this process, right? So when some anonymous guy steal your artwork and post it up, right? Most people won't buy it, because who is this person? You know, unless they set up the whole website and go through the whole process. So NFT buyers are not fully crazy also, like they won't want to buy something that has no like perceived value, right? So you must have some perceived value as well to sell it. Right? Yeah, this is the why they put so you can just go to Opensea and just go report, right? And then you just submit your claim, right? So some people say NFT art is ugly, so generated art is soulless and commodified art. I mean, yeah, you send some. There are some NFTs really you wonder why, who on earth would buy this kind of thing, right? Like, but in some ways, right, especially for people who love memes, right, this is actually quite an interesting one. You would like to own this, if it's cheap enough. Right? For R1, you can own this picture of a monkey, right? But NFTs can also be very beautiful. This is one of my my friend's NFT collection. This is animated, by the way, so it's a very beautiful collection that he produced. He sold quite a lot of this already. So it really depends on the artist, lah. Right? People can put up anything, but who buys it? So that's the question itself. Right? So chip scarcity, yes lah. This is an example of a mining rig. So all your expensive like graphic cards, right, are being bought by crypto miners to mine the Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatnot, right? So this one eventually, once the technology progresses, right, or matures a bit more, and people stop using the proof of work system, right, and you move to proof of stake systems, then hopefully this will be better lah. I hope so lah, right? Now NFT has no function; it's just a trend. So you actually see a lot of NFTs being used in different places. Like the word that's kicked around a lot is Metaverse, right? So the Metaverse, in essence, is just is a virtual playground lah, where people can journey through this MMORPG kind of world with entertainment venue, workplaces. You can buy stuff there, you can sell stuff there, you can live there in a certain context, right? This movie, Ready Player One, if anyone watched it, right, it's a very how to say, like a reflection of what people imagine a metaverse would look like, and it is in this dystopian form lah, right? It's not a beautiful world, but it's most probably where we're headed for the time being, right? Especially with Mark Zuckerberg. So we see how it goes. But there are also other metaverses, like for example, this is another project called the Sandbox. So Sandbox is another project which runs on the cryptocurrency called Sand, right? Where you actually build worlds. So people can own land, they can build worlds, they can build games on it, right? And you can play, you can dress up your characters, you can walk around. It's a bit like Roblox, but maybe for adults and also with cryptocurrency, right? So this is another metaverse. There's a Decentraland as well. Decentraland is a different kind of project, right? You can check all this out, by the way. And also Star Atlas. So Star Atlas is a bit like anyone familiar with Star Citizen, right? Star Atlas will be the crypto version of it, right? Per se. Yeah. SAO coming soon. I can guarantee you someone is working on it now, right? I can guarantee you almost, right? Now the question is, should you get involved in NFTs? I would say that this is really wholly up to you. There are bad things about the technology still, right? Just like every other technology, there are good and bad stuff about it. It just takes time for it to get to a stage, right? But if you say like, oh, let's not use it totally, or let's not understand it, then I would say you get left behind in that sense, right? So even if you don't want to buy or mix NFTs, do educate yourself about it, because like cryptocurrencies, the blockchain, this is going to be in a lot of aspects of our life down the road already, right? In the beginning, when smartphones started coming out, right, I was actually one of those that had a Nokia phone, and like, oh, you know what? I don't need it. I just need to use my phone to call people only, right? Now I cannot imagine if I had to go back to a Nokia phone, right? Without my WhatsApp and all my functions and all that, right? I would just die like that, right? It'll be like me staying in the forest, right? So I held off for as long as I could, but then eventually also it caught up to me, and I was one of the late users, So when it came to this kind of like blockchain technology and NFTs and crypto, right? I'm also relatively new to it. I think about 1 year or so. But I've known people who have been in for some time already, right? So I'm also starting to just learn about it, right? Out of interest, and also out of like my own personal investments and stuff like that, right? Now, I just caution you all, the nature of decentralization is behind blockchain, right? It's memang there's a lack of regulation. There are a lot of scams and rug pulls that can happen, right? Projects can fail, right? Cryptocurrency prices fluctuate like crazy, right? It's highly speculative space because the technology is still young, and it's the nature of it, lah. If you centralize it, people don't like to use it, right? If you centralize it, people you can control it, you can regulate it, so it's not so crazy, right? But because of that, people don't like it as well. People like the decentralization of it, right? There's a wild nature that people enjoy. But because of that also, then you have things that can happen. For example, what is a rug pull? Rug pull is basically when a project, they've promised you something, you bought the NFTs and stuff because of the project, and then they just disappear after that, you know, and then you're screwed up already, right? Because like, for example, right, when you buy an NFT and on Opensea, for example, the artwork is on Opensea server somewhere, right? If Opensea for some reason tomorrow explode lah, boom, vanish. Thanos came and snapped his finger, and then for some reason only the website disappeared. What's going to happen is you still have the NFT, you still have that line of code, but it points to nothing, right? The image, if you didn't save it for yourself, basically the image is gone together with into another dimension, right? So that could happen, right? If the website explodes tomorrow, right? There are also scams where people promise all sorts of things, but they don't deliver, right? Or like, for example, nowadays in blockchain gaming or play to earn gaming, people sell the NFT on the promise that when the game comes out, you can use the NFT to play the game and earn money, right? But if I sell you the NFT, I get all the money already, and tomorrow I disappear. Boom. That is a rug pull, right? So someone has just vanished off the face of the earth, right? And they take your cryptocurrency and probably run away already, right? So that can happen as well. So be very careful in this space. If you want to buy, if you want to sell, it's a different story, right? Yeah. So what have I learned so far in my time in this space, right? The main thing I've learned is basically value is very arbitrary and very subjective, right? People spend money on things for many different reasons, right? Like a Rolex watch or a Yeezy or a, LV or a Black Lotus Magic the Gathering card, right? Which last time was like, oh, it's a piece of cardboard basically in principle, right? But people attach ridiculous amounts of value to it for certain reasons as well, right? Like maybe an MTG player would see value in it, but the MTG player's mother, right, would think that it's nonsense and probably burn the card, right? So that's why value is a very subjective thing, right? So yeah, so don't be too hung up on that lah. All right, so I think, yeah, so sorry I took a bit longer than expected, but we've entered the Q&A session. I see a lot of questions. I'll try to answer some.
Yes, there is a lot of questions actually, and I think some of which I was able to kind of help you answer. Okay. I don't know if I answered properly, but they seem straightforward enough because I've done some of it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess yeah, I was thinking that I would probably answer some of them for you because we had some pretty good questions coming in, of which I also felt that I think. It's something that I like to hear from you. I just want to clarify one last one that was I was just trying to type out. There was a question asked by Fong Fong that says OpenSea and variable NFT, is it linked? Are all NFTs linked together?
No.
I think the question is the answer is no. It's quite simply no. If they use different cryptos, they are not linked together. So they are actually on different blockchains. Am I right?
Yeah, they're on different blockchains. Like for example, I think someone, was it Mike Shinoda recently? He posted a tweet about in the many games where you can take one item and then you buy one item in this game and you can take the item into another game, right?
Yeah.
That can work if it's like that's why the Metaverse concept is out there.
Right.
For example, in the sandbox, that game I showed, right?
Yeah.
In that world, there can be many games inside there. And if designed in such a way, right? Okay, let me buy a magical fire sword in this game, right? They can allow it so that the fire sword can be used in another game. Yeah. So only then can it's built that it has to be built that way lah. It can't be like, oh, I buy a fire sword here, then I go to my Flappy Bird game and suddenly my Flappy Bird has a flaming sword, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that'd be
it
great.
depends on whether they are on the same blockchain.
Yeah, and on the same and also the same people developing it lah. You know, if I'm developing multiple projects, I want them all to be interlinked somehow. I can make NFTs that can be used in all of them.
Right.
You know?
So I mean, as much as Real Player One, the movie, and Free Guy, Ryan Reynolds movie seems to be where we are headed to, it's not there yet lah, I would say.
But the Real Player One, if you think about it, there's one company that owns everything.
Oh, right. So yeah, it's all housed and centralized in one space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have some questions for you. What we'll try and do is I will try and, because there are quite a lot of questions that came up along the way, and I will present probably 2 or 3 to you. Then we will try and get some of the participants probably to hands up and then ask a question. Yeah, so sure. Hold on, let me just mute everyone first. And hold on, I think it might even mute you for a while, and then I will unmute you again. Wait, don't allow. Yes. Okay, so you are muted. So
I'm unmuted, right?
Okay, yeah, because you're a co-host. Okay. All right. So Ivan, the question we have is by Trident Swan Tiu, sorry. How do you see current anti-piracy system for NFTs? Where do you see it going in the future?
Anti-piracy, as in like, so people can't upload your stuff, right?
Is that what you mean, Trident? Can you kindly type in the chat or something to illuminate us about your question? Anti-piracy, is it like to stop people from actually getting to your artwork and using your artwork as an NFT? Is that what you mean? Yes, more or less.
That one, yeah. I mean, to be honest, that one also, it's almost impossible to preempt and block it, because as a platform provider, like say I'm Opensea, right? I wouldn't know who did what, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I can only react to it in a sense that if people complain about it,
yeah,
then I can send up, I can like take action, like what's happening now, like, you know.
Yeah, correct.
Like whether or not they might come up with systems where you put up the stuff. It's hard to imagine how to overcome that by building a system. Because they have no idea who actually owns the thing, the collection.
Yeah. I think quite recently, Opensea did kind of say they want to work on a method to actually detect replicated artworks by different accounts or something like that, but that's to that extent.
That will be within their same space, I think. So example, if I download from this account, and I open it there, I open your account, put up the same thing. Then I think they can do something about it.
They can do something about it. But if let's say it was in Rarible that the first thing came up and then now it was sold in OpenSea, then it's a bit difficult lah. So that's why it's sometimes, I guess, it's good to actually put your work out there, because no better way to cover yourself than to first declare your own work to the public that this is my work, and you've got your followers actually having an eye on you for it. This is something that I've learned also, even like with your artwork, there are some people who are so precious about it. They put it only on one place, and you know, people don't really know about their work, and there are not enough eyes to actually help you actually look out for your artwork. Okay, the next one is I think let's see. Okay, there's one that has a few questions here. Shamin Bubanasan. All right, I have a few questions here. We'll try and get to one first. I want to do something like collecting. I'm confused about, should I do all at once, like 10 and then post, or can I post one by one? Right now, I don't have much money to pay for gas fees, so I'm planning to sell it on Pentas. Do you think it's a right choice?
Pentas is definitely cheaper.
Yeah.
But you need to get the Binance coin.
Binance coin. Okay. I think the Binance. Okay. For Shamin, you need KuCoin, right? KuCoin to actually buy Binance coin on Pentas, which I did earlier late last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a whole different process compared to OpenSea. So yeah, but the gas fees is not as high
Not as
as
high. It's a different blockchain
OpenSea.
altogether.
Yeah, because it uses Binance Coin and OpenSea uses Ethereum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's actually quite. I think it's very cheap lah. If you actually go on Pentas, it's actually super duper affordable lah. I mean, comparatively, like I mean, I have friends who paid like 50 USD, 200 USD to mint their first account. You know, to start their own account
In OpenSea.
Yeah, because they couldn't wait lah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of them. I mean, to be honest, Ivan and we go back a long way, and it's Ivan that is actually the one that introduced me to NFTs as well. When he minted his first one was like 8 USD, right?
Yeah.
And by the time I minted mine, it was like 70 USD for the first artwork. So to answer that question of another person, whether or not you need to pay a gas fee if you are selling your artwork, so the answer would be yes lah. Yeah, for the first time.
For the first to the first mint, then you to initialize your account, and everything else is actually like I won't say free lah, but basically you can put it up there, and the person pays for it. The buyer pays for it. Yeah.
Okay, there is a question here by Henry Tanzi Heng. Since the value of SLP is dropping, do Mr. Ivan think XZ Infinity is still worth investing for now? Wow, so he's asking for tips from you, investing tips.
That a bit subjective, but the issue with like Axie, right? Once the way I see it, right? Once the value dropped to a certain amount, right, and doesn't look like there's anything to push it back up, bro. You need a lot of like news and new things for it to move on. So if it's not going up, right, most of the players will go and start to find for another crypto game to play, right? You know, and when your player base start to move off to somewhere else to look for like greener pastures, right? Then it might be quite tough to how you put it, to bring it back up to where it originally was lah. You know, Axie was doing very well because it I think the launching of it was at a good time together with the rise of crypto, I think in 2021. Right, so they coincided very well. I have friends who run scholarships for like maybe 60 over scholars, but they manage these 60 people who are playing, and then they take a percentage of it. But even they are also saying that a lot of scholars are dropping off already lah, because it's no longer sustainable to play and earn a living out of it. It was sustainable, but currently not so lah. Yeah. But as of like where to take the money and go what else to play down, I'm not too sure myself.
I think. Okay, the other next question is, now we have done about 3. Is there anyone who would like to ask a question live? You want to put your hand up? Anyone? Okay, Shamin. And anyone else? Shamin? Sorry, we probably prioritize someone else. If there's no other takers, then probably we'll take a question from you. Anyone? Okay, Ray has a question. Okay, so I will ask to unmute. Okay, Ray, you can speak.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have to go through an exchange when you're collecting money or you're being paid by somebody else? When you're collecting money, do you have to go through an exchange in order to use your wallet? You know, so you have your NFTs and your money in your wallet, but can you go directly to the wallet and not go through an exchange? Is my basic question. Or do you always have to use an exchange in any kind of transaction?
Currently, if you want to just sell, you just need your wallet, and then you can access the marketplace straight away. But the issue comes from when you want to take it out. You know, so when you want to take it out, OpenSea transacts in Ethereum, right? So when you have that Ethereum, you would need to go through at least maybe Luno, which is I would say an exchange as well, but a very small one, right? So and then only then can you exchange Ethereum into Malaysian currency, you know, and then have it sent to your bank account. Yeah.
Okay, so it's when you go back into a fiat currency that you have to use an exchange. But if you stay out of fiat currencies, you can just stay in crypto and just go directly from your wallet and back to your wallet.
Yeah.
But
So if you're not moving it out, then you actually don't need to touch any exchange.
Okay.
but just to add on to that question, but in order for you for an artist to mint their first artwork, wouldn't they still need an exchange to get some money first, some cryptocurrency first to mint that first piece of artwork?
Oh yeah, okay. So yes, to initially put some money in, or what a lot of people do, they find a friend who actually has crypto.
Right.
So someone can. So how a lot of people actually take money out of cryptos if they don't want to go through Luno, they actually find buyers. So if someone wants to pay you, what do you call it? They will pay you ringgit. They bank in straight to your bank account, and then you transfer them crypto from your wallet to their wallet straight away.
Their wallet. So there is no exchange involved. There's no need for the exchange app like Luno or
But
KuCoin.
when you're minting, you don't need to go outside of crypto. I mean, you could have a crypto in your wallet, right? You pay your gas fees and everything with your crypto, and then just stay in crypto, right? Then you don't need the exchange, correct?
Yeah.
But initially, when you want to say you need some Ethereum to first start your account, so how to get that Ethereum in? I would probably recommend maybe like getting someone who familiar with it to walk you through it, lah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, we have got a few more, a lot of hands, a lot of questions. Okay. Let's see. We have maybe okay. Yeezy Xia. Okay, we will unmute you. Then we'll go to another question on the that we have written down. Yeezy Xia, you have been unmuted. Can you go ahead?
Hi.
Yes.
I just wanna ask, right, now the crypto NFTs, all these things is like kinda leisure. Just like you buy like a short video, a picture, a GIF. Do you think this crypto thing will really be in our real life, like more useful way?
More useful way. Okay.
More functions are more utility.
Yeah.
So definitely, and that's where it's going to go. Because currently people when there's new technology, right? People will try to figure out what use what can I do with it, So one of the first few things that they found was basically selling artwork, lah, right? But NFTs itself doesn't necessarily need to be artwork. It can be other things. Like, for example, I gave the example of the guy that sold his tickets, right, as NFTs, right? So like if I mean just to dig it out of my head, some random ideas, right? If I have a coffee shop and I wanted to sell NFTs so that you buy this NFT, you're entitled to 50 cups of coffee from this thing, from my shop over this period of time. So there are many ways to use it in the marketing sense. There are also a lot of talk about how to use it in terms of like actual contracts and like legal documents or like house deeds or ownership, right? Anything that has to be secure, right? Then someone will find some way to implement or build an NFT system around it, lah. Yeah. So currently we are just seeing the early stuff that's like blockchain games and stuff and things like that. So as we go along, then there will definitely be more functions that are slowly built up upon it, lah. Whether it will be the same like today, whatever we are doing today with NFTs might be something that's like gone and dead in like 2 years time, you know what I mean? It could be a whole totally crazy system then. So,
it could evolve into something very, very different.
But the more utility stuff sometimes seems very boring. So the one that come out in the media a lot, right, is like the girl that sold her farts and stuff like, So people see that one most of the time. So people start to say, hey, also it's like the technology used to sell people's farts and nonsense there. So that's the what we see, right? But the more functional things like will be a bit more like, okay not very exciting, right? No one's gonna share it when someone tells you can NFT or like your documents or something like that, right? It's too boring, right? Yeah. But definitely down the road, that's why a lot of people are rushing to this space because a lot of people have ideas and they want to materialize it,
Yeah. Okay, we have a written question just now that is from Swan Ching. Swan Ching. May I know what are the frameworks I guess it's because it's quite subjective question, that you follow to determine the NFT is worth to invest or not?
Oh, for me personally,
Yeah.
I don't buy and trade NFTs. Right? That's myself. I do make them and I want to see whether I can sell them and all that. But I myself do not buy and sell them hoping to make money. If I were to buy one, I would buy it because maybe my friend has one, you know, or my friend released a collection and or something I found like pretty funny or something like that. Yeah, I'll be the kind that invest nonsense, like memes, like maybe. Yeah. So that would be my personal take on it, lah. But then again, of course, I'm not going to spend ridiculous amounts of money on something that I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And I can think of a function for it, then most probably I can consider it, lah.
Right. So like you said just now, it really is dependent on where value lies with the buyer, right? Where you put your value in also. Sometimes people place the value in aesthetics and all that. Yeah, some people place it in the value of what it can be exchanged for. Okay, another question. Let's see. We have also I also saw, okay, this is from Jia Yu. Okay, I also saw most people hating NFTs, arguing about money laundering. May I know how Mr. Ivan thinks about this controversy?
Oh, definitely. I mean, when you think about it, right? Being able to put your money into somewhere and then you can go next country and then you can take it out again, right? That one would bypass a lot of like systems in place, right? People can actually move money around. But then again, even without this, so they are still doing it in their own. Like the old way is to put money in bags and then they try sneak past immigration, right? Or customs. But now that this is around, so people would to use it. Now, most of these technologies, like you realize, right? Like even all the internet technologies and stuff, the first adopters are always the underworld. Yeah. And a lot of how to put it, a lot of people will put a lot of things that push technology very hard, right? Maybe I'll say the more unsavory parts of the world, right? Because why they're throwing money into all this, they're pushing the development, right? And then like for example, some countries, their internet infrastructure, right, actually develop faster because of certain things, you know. So does money laundering happen? I would definitely believe so, right? I think a lot of like I can imagine politicians all have money in crypto somewhere. But not true. I'm just speculating as a disclaimer. But you need to imagine, because what happens is like for example, if I have money in crypto and I do need to go overseas or something like that, right? Or I need to leave the country or migrate or something like that. The fact that I can just go overseas and then, hey, my bank account flying through the air with me, right? Might be appealing to some people, right? Rather than having to do the traditional transfer style where the bank will charge you anyway. Yeah. So whether it does it happen, most probably, does it involve us? No, I mean not me in particular. Yeah. So most of us might not reach that kind of level.
Yeah. I mean, we might be dealing with small amounts of cash, whereas these are, I think, a lot more.
Yeah, because people can use the Zhao tax, and that's why a lot of countries don't like crypto per se.
Yeah.
Because it allows people to bypass a lot of their taxation system and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, we have one from Joanne Lai. Okay, with so many cryptocurrencies, what would be a good list of criteria by which our choice of which currency is most suitable for our use?
Oh, for use, as in like to buy and invest to.
Oh, okay. Joanne, would you want to clarify? Is it for investment or for your own use, as in to mint your artwork on?
Yeah, I guess that means it depends on the type of usage we want. So one of the criteria would be, what do we want to use it for, right?
Yeah.
So I was asking for what list of questions you should ask yourself when you're trying to decide which ones to target and which ones to choose. So that's one. Yeah. Okay. What other stuff would you put on that list of criteria?
Oh, sorry, what other stuff would I put on the what?
On the list of criteria of
What
choosing,
crypto to buy?
yeah, choosing which crypto to buy.
Oh, okay. So like if you're talking about like investments and stuff like that, I'm not expert, but like I have friends in the finance line who they just buy Bitcoin or they buy the stable coins, so that then they're not too worried about the price dropping or not, because they are in it for like long term lah. That means they based on projection and study, then they analysis, right? They say in 5 years maybe the price can come back up, so they're not too worried about the price dropping or collapsing, because a lot of them believe in the technology so much that they believe in, I can hold this money for 4 years, no problem, right? And then the currency has the potential to jump up, and cryptocurrencies move faster than stock market as well, because stock market, if you're is number one, stock market is based on limited time operation, right? Cryptocurrency 24 hours, and cryptocurrency moves non-stop. So that's exciting to a lot of people. In fact, a lot of people have taken money out of the stock market and throw them inside the crypto space. So like some people, if you want investment safe one, they buy more stable coins, right? If you want, like, some people like the excitement of it, they buy things that call like altcoins or shit coins, or like Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, right? All those funny coins with no practical value except for speculation. Then some people who want more excitement, they might buy those coins, which come to the higher risk.
Yeah. So basically, like how you've also told me before when I first got into NFTs, is that when you are delving into it, you kind of have to have some money to burn, right? You have to get ready that it will go. It's money that you might be willing to sacrifice lah. Yeah. Okay. We'll take a question from an audience who has raised his hand. So Kevin Show, you have not asked any questions before, so I will ask you to unmute, and you can proceed to ask your question, Kevin.
Hi, Mr. Ivan, and good evening to you and our moderator. So actually, I've asked the question before. I mean, just now.
Okay.
So right now, I'm just going to sort of repeat the questions to get a confirmations from Mr. Ivan.
Okay. Yes.
So if I really wish to to produce something or an artwork that is related to a certain type of movie, or somewhat similar to something real life that is being copyrighted. So would I be accused of the violations of the original creations of the entire copyright thing? Will I violate that?
Safer not to, right? Most of the time, I mean, whatever you put up there and sell, if it's like one item or something, then I mean, obviously the like, for example, if I want to make Naruto, but I put there Waruto and it's a different color character and you put up there, then there's a possibility that the studio might come and go hunt you down lah, or they might try to figure out like who created this, who uploaded this and stuff like that lah. Or they might even talk to Opensea and say there's a violation of copyright. Can please take this down lah, but so it's safer not to go near to anything that's like any existing intellectual property, especially when you're building a brand, right? Because you don't want to be like planning long term to build this presence, right? And then because of your one or two items which are too close to something else, then they take down the entire thing, right? But if you're doing parody and stuff like that, there's also a certain limit to how far you can go for it lah.
Even like recently, if some of you guys are really interested, there was another Facebook group called NFT Malaysia, which I think both Ivan and I are on. There was a whole case where they actually called out on artists that actually plagiarized Kluang Man, and they would do it very viciously and post up your pictures of the artwork and say plagiat, and they would link it. So there was that whole thing going on. So yeah, it's always advisable to probably stay off copywriting, or taking someone, they would call it derivatives, am I right? Meaning you derived it from some other people's artwork.
But there's also, I mean, there's also like for example, if someone create a set of 1,000 characters, right? And one of them happens to look a bit like Batman or something like that, right? Then I guess those are a little bit different lah. People see it differently, right? So it's highly subjective. Also highly subjective whether the actual IP owners will come after you or not. right? If you're not making that much money, right, then
Yeah, they'll
different story,
probably
yeah.
yeah.
You're making a millions, and then get ready,
You
lah.
will
Get ready, the
you attract
lawyers.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we have okay, so let's see what other questions we might have. Some of them have been answered too. Okay, I think we'll get another one. Okay, Shamin, you we'll give you another chance now because I think you have put your hand up quite long already. So we'll allow you to ask the question.
Yeah, Shamin.
Oh, hi, good evening. So I have a question, like you suggest us to post our artwork first in our social media, and then we have to link it in the NFT post, right? So I was wondering that like since like many people are like stealing art and stuff, let's say like if after we posting, wouldn't that be like people like go and steal it, like is that possible, like people can steal it before you post it on NFT?
Yeah, definitely. Like, so for example, right, like the way it will work is like if you are an artist and you have a bunch of like beautiful artworks, right, and people know you for this art style, right, and then you have your own account, basically a presence online or something like that. So suddenly one day your artwork appears in another guy's account, some random fella's account. The ID name is like 5467B, right? So people tend not to buy that because they go there. If you're, they might look at it. Oh, they will buy that. They will buy that even if they bought it, right? Doesn't really mean much to you because they didn't really steal your artwork per se, right? And there's a high chance that no one will buy it because if like it is known to be your art style, so they would look for your account to buy it from you, right? Even if you don't want to be involved in the NFT space, right? You would have your own website, you will have your own profile and all that, right? So people would know you for your artwork. Therefore, they won't simply buy your artwork from any random site. Like for example, let's say Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa, right? And one day you see the Mona Lisa in Chowkit Road, in one of the store there. It looks real, maybe it looks exactly real. You won't say like, oh my God, this must be Leonardo da Vinci's artwork. I want to go buy it, right? Because and then the guy there like 50 ringgit. You won't buy anymore, right? Because there's no credibility to the artwork, yeah. So if you have your own presence somewhere online and stuff like that, I think the safest is maybe you watermark your artwork that you put online, right? Because even if no one steals it for NFTs, right? There are people who steal it to put on cups and t-shirts, and people who steal it and put it somewhere else, right? There are hundreds ways for someone to just download, because it's all digital, right? Someone can just right click and download it and use it for whatever purpose you want, right? So happened that some people are taking and then selling it as NFTs. It's just one additional way that they're trying to sell it, right? I can even tell you now, right? My friends that make video games, whole video games, you can buy their game in Shopee now already, because someone has cracked the Steam account, download the thing, and then re-upload in Shopee.
Oh
right?
Man.
So video games also are being stolen and put on Shopee. So can you imagine, right?
Okay. All right. Hope that answers your question. So we have
thank you.
Another one. Okay. Let's see.
The trident.
We have one guy that raised his hand, but before that, probably we try and answer one more. Okay, there's one question which I think was a recurring question. Where is a good place to actually get publicity? How do you get, I think the question has been rephrased and rehashed again, is how do you get noticed? Where do you publicize your work and get your work noticed?
Like the most common place that people tell you will be have a Twitter presence.
Yeah.
And then go on to Discord and look for all the NFT groups that you can find and go on there, right? So basically you're shielding yourself. For artists who are like established, right? Very established or well-known, right? They have their own following, right? There's less of a problem for them because people follow them, right? They have a Twitter account. The moment they say, oh, check it out, we got an NFT coming up, people will rush to go check it out, right? But for maybe like myself, I'm not a known artist, so I have no following for that. So I will go to I will start my own website first to put up my stuff there, right? Talk about the project and all that. Then maybe I'll go Discord. I'll join Facebook groups like NFT Malaysia, NFT for beginners, NFT, anything you find like just I will just look inside there just to see what people are posting up first, right? And then go on to Twitter lah. I'm not on Twitter a lot because it's a very scary place, right? So, but it's one of the places where people look out for NFT projects. Oops, disconnected. Oh no, wait. Moderator disconnected, or
I got disconnected halfway. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So sorry. Oh, the line is bad. Okay, I think we've they start minting. Do I have the rights to? Okay. I think we will probably just take one or two more questions. One is again by Charmaine. She has one question here about how does minting work? Let's say 10 people like my artwork and they start minting. I don't think probably the term minting here is probably used properly. They start minting. Minting is
only one.
Correct me if only one, right? You only mint one artwork.
They buy artwork.
Yeah. So you as an artist, Charmaine, is minting the artwork. Your buyers cannot mint the artwork. Yeah. So how do I have? She was wondering if does she have the right to choose who she's going to sell the art to? Not really, right? Well, you mint your artwork, it's up there.
There's also auction and stuff there, but those are the things that I personally haven't touched yet. But they are, and different marketplace function differently. So there are auctions, there are this thing and that thing. So
reserve, right? Things like that. Yeah.
So then you have to check out because I'm not too sure. Myself.
I think it depends on what platform they want to use. At first, I thought that we could really do one and for all thing, but it is actually quite different. Like I myself have an Opensea account and a Pentas account, and I realized that both the things function quite differently. So you have to kind of experience it on your own to see which one. But Opensea seems to be a bit more, I would say, a bit more straightforward than Pentas. Yeah.
Pentas has no collections. Pentas is like individual items.
Correct. They do not allow you to do collections, and they don't have an unlockable content. Whereas Opensea does have an unlockable content feature, so it's quite different. Also, Ivan, I think what would be interesting is for you to also talk about this, something from myself. I think it'd be interesting for you to talk about probably, are there platforms where you've talked to me before about where it's an artist that you need to apply to actually sell your work?
This is Sandbox. So I think so there's a Metaverse game project called Sandbox, and Sandbox, the NFTs are how do I put it? The NFTs are the items in the world, right? So currently, if you those of you who are familiar with voxels, right, or voxel art, you can actually make stuff like tables, chairs, characters, buildings, doors, whatever. Every item is NFT. So you can make this stuff and then you can actually sell them on their own marketplace, right? And you earn their currency is called Sand, right? But in order to be able to get into approved creator, you need to build a portfolio on voxels first.
Right.
Yeah, so they use something called Vox Edit. Or I mean, you can use any voxel tool basically,
right?
To create the items into that metaverse. So in the metaverse, right, or in those few metaverse, the concept is in those kind of digital worlds, right, in the future, cryptocurrency will be the money, NFTs will be the things in the world.
Right.
Yeah. So that's that's the distinction of how they would draw that.
Okay. Yeah. How about places, art marketplaces like Super Rare, or was it Rarible that you have to, as an artist, present your portfolio in order to get recognized?
I think that was I think some of them do that, so they maintain some kind of exclusivity, like Binance. Binance has their own marketplace. Right. So I remember last time you can't simply just go and like, hey, this is my account, Yeah, I think they want some level of like control over the content lah. So that some of them look very high artsy kind of stuff.
Right.
And some of them have a lot of like avatar kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think they want to determine that. Oh, sorry, I think that's me.
Was it me or was it your eye? I was like, oh, was it
my turn.
No, it's Ivan.
Okay,
That last bit only, Ivan. That last bit.
Okay, all right. Okay, I think it's probably a call for us to end already. But before we end, Ivan, you're showing us this last slide. I don't know if I got cut off halfway or what. Were you able to talk to us a little bit about what you have here?
Oh no, this is how anyone can contact me if they got any questions. And then of course I'm plugging my little game, which I just released.
Yes. Talk to us a little bit about it before you end the HR one.
So just to share, I've made this how I'm using NFTs for this project. I made a little card game, right? So they're like it's a physical item, right?
Right.
Can't see it. Okay. But like eventually I will release NFTs to of certain characters in the game. Right. I'm releasing 16 NFTs, and when someone buys NFT, I will send them a copy of the game plus a special kind of like special version card, right? Like a collector card, right? Yeah.
Right.
So I'm using it in more of a marketing sense, right? Rather than like someone buying my art or something like that. So I'm like that's one of the things that I'm thinking about how I can use this new technology, perhaps, Yeah.
Okay.
So also it's a bit gimmicky, which is where I guess NFTs do well, gimmicky stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll see how that goes. Right? Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thanks very much, Ivan, and thank you everyone for actually staying with us this evening, and I hope it was a good learning experience for everyone. So if you guys want to actually watch this again and try and recap on what Ivan has talked about, it will be on our YouTube channel. And before we end, I think we will do the conventional, let's take a photo together. Okay, I think probably Ivan, you have to minimize. Okay, can we have probably everyone switch on their webcams just for a couple of photo, a quick photo op? Yeah. Okay. Here we go.